Let's go to the Los Angeles Dodgers and where they are, which is not good.
Ain't lying about that.
People thought they were going to be the Beatles and there was going to be a runaway season, and they spent another $1 billion in the offseason, and they got all these players and made trades and all the other stuff that said they're going back to the World Series. Look at the team. It's not fair. Do you remember? Fans were saying it wasn't fair.
Yeah.
And now here we are, almost in August. I mean, almost in September, a few weeks away. Dodgers only have a 1-game lead against the Padres. And so they're disappointing. I mean, it's hard. I know they're in first place, but if you don't think the Dodgers have had a disappointing season, I'm not sure you've been following, because it just hasn't been fun. Mookie Betts is batting .240. Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel right. Would you say that? Just doesn't feel right.
Oh, the Dodgers have definitely been on the struggle bus. That's without a doubt. I mean, you look at the lead they had in their division, and this is the division where you thought, all right, you kind of thought where we are now is where we might be throughout the season, but then they ballooned up to a 8.5 lead against the Padres. You kind of thought the Padres would be out of it and it would be the Dodgers to run away with, and that was not the case. And the Dodgers have found ways to be in the slump. Their bats went cold. Then it was the pitching. Then it was the injuries. And now it's so bad, my main man Mookie, like, do the right thing. My main man Mookie, you got the crowd cheering for him just because he walked up to the plate, Rob, trying to get him into it. It's so unique to where they are right now. They're in a position that they haven't quite been in, and the expectations were high. They're on pace to win only 92 games, which for other teams would be remarkable.
That's way under what it was in Vegas.
Absolutely.
People were thinking that this team was going to set the all-time wins record.
And this is why we continue to tell people, yes, you can have maybe some type of salary minimum in baseball where, hey, because you have the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, handful of other teams spending crazy money. Then you have the Marlins, the Rays, and other teams not spending any money.
It doesn't mean you're going to win, though.
But that don't mean you're going to win anything, because the Dodgers are struggling right now. The Yankees and Dodgers hadn't met each other in the World Series since '81 prior to last year. So just because you spend as much money doesn't guarantee anything. And neither of the teams have been runaways, including the Mets. Somebody's been runaways. So money doesn't necessarily mean anything. And the Dodgers are struggling in multiple ways right now. And it's been rough for them. And even Dave Roberts is like, yo, there's got to be a sense of urgency. And you would think, well, what the heck? Why I got to tell you that? Don't you know?
Well, the arm to this, and I'm serious, is I know a lot of people just think Ohtani should be the MVP every year. But I'm here to tell you, their struggles and his numbers, I don't think it should be automatic. And let me just give you like some examples, okay, from last year to this year. And we know last year was a record-setting kind of year. His WAR was 9.2 last year. You know what it is this year? 5.3. That would be the lowest since 2002. So it's just 5.3. He had 130 RBIs, led the National League. He has 78. Sure, he's got the 42 home runs, had 59 stolen bases, only has 17 this year. I'm just looking at these numbers, and other than runs scored, he leads the league in runs scored and plate appearances. That's it. He's a leadoff hitter. You know what I mean? So he gets a lot of at-bats or whatever. But that's it. And I think that the Dodgers struggling and looking at his numbers and what he's been able to do. And the other thing, too, is his batting average, which is up to 284, it was a couple weeks ago or 10 days ago, it was 268. I mean, it hasn't been nearly what we saw a year ago. And here's the other thing, 78 RBIs on 42 home runs.
That ain't on him, though.
Yes, it is. That means he's not getting any other hits when people – he's not only – you got to remember, he's not only coming up to bat as a leadoff, right? You only come up to lead off. There's other times when other people are on base. It's not just –
You've been watching them Dodgers?
Yes. Come on. We could take a look at it and see where he is with runners in scoring position and other things. It's not – you can't just look at RBIs and say that nobody's on base, because he batted leadoff last year and he had 130. It's been a huge drop-off, and most of his home runs have been solo home runs this year. That's all I'm saying. 78 RBIs on 42 home runs. is small.
Yeah, you want something, and by now at that point, you want in the 90s. You at least want some 90s. I agree with that, and he would agree with that if he was sitting right next to us. I think a couple things here. There's no debating this year is not last year for him, especially when you factor in the stolen bases, 50-plus last year for him. But on the flip side, instead of stealing all of those bases like he had done last year, I don't know, maybe he's now a starting pitcher. So, I mean, that's what makes him so remarkable is that you did list the offensive numbers that are slightly down, without a doubt. The facts are the facts. But the man is pitching now, getting up to the 4 innings now, and we know in October he's going to legitimately be a starter in the postseason for them. So, to me, that is why he's so special and why he's so unique is you would hope to see him get to this point, and now he's here where he is pitching, he's starting, and becoming a guy that you can lean on and depend on. Oh, and by the way, he also has 40-some-odd home runs, 42 home runs as well. So here's the thing too, Rob. We've seen this with Steph Curry, Jokic, Brett Favre, and even Aaron Judge, where just because your numbers go down or your teams maybe lose more games or something, doesn't mean you still can't be the MVP the next year. It happens. It's that the metrics or the dominance by you is so high that instead of you being a 10 out of 10, maybe you're 9.5. And the other problem is, if ain't nobody else at 10, who's going to beat him? Yeah. Kyle Schwarber is the only candidate, and he's not in the case to beat him right now.
Well, but the only problem with that is he's not leading in anything other than what I told you, plate appearances, home runs. He has the 42, but the other numbers that he dominated, I'm saying that's what I'm looking at, and I'm looking at his team because you expect the Dodgers to be better. Would you agree with that? And he hasn't made them better. But that's what I'm saying. You got this guy who's all world, and even the pitching numbers while he's pitching now, he's not winning games. He's not. It's not like he. I know most people want to give him the MVP because he does both, and nobody else is doing that. I get that, but I just don't think that it's been the same year, and it's been a big drop off from a year ago. That's all I'm saying. It just doesn't. He doesn't feel like the MVP to me.
And I just don't see. I think for me, I'm not necessarily upset with some of your thought processing. But my issue is it has to be a clear-cut guy because you can't not give them an MVP just because his numbers are down from last year. Somebody's got to always run away with it as well. And the best part about it, if you're him or anybody else in baseball ain't the sport where your team has to be great. We have seen guys whose teams weren't that great. You got Bryce Harper winning. Despite, they were second in their division and didn't even make the playoffs in 2021. Mike Trout, we discussed him winning MVPs and his team not being great. So, I mean, baseball is the sport where you can be the best player.
Yeah, but I don't know if
your team doesn't have to be amazing.
I agree, but I don't think that those teams had the expectations that the Dodgers have had. Would you get that? That's what I'm saying. Like, in looking at this, there's no way you feel good if you're a Dodgers fan right now about what you've seen this year.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like with Mike Trout, nobody was expecting anything with the Angels. His numbers were just so good. The WAR, think about the WAR, because that's the big one. Mm-hmm. He led last year with a 9.2, right? Led the league, 9.2. He has a 5.3. Would you say that's a considerable drop-off?
That's a drop-off.
That's a considerable drop-off.
My main other point would be someone else has to steal this from me, and no one else is jumping out. Kyle Schwarber's doing his thing, 42 home runs for himself. I see what he's doing, and I like it. But there's no one running away with this thing, and that's the other problem to me is, okay, fine, I'm slightly down if I'm Shohei Ohtani, but ain't nobody stealing it from me. And therein lies the challenge. Somebody, you get what I'm saying? Somebody has to take it from him. Otherwise, he's the reigning MVP, and his numbers are comparable, if not better than the other candidates. So I just think and not to mention, he's still leading the division. Now, granted, it ain't a big lead.
Well, that's what.
It's only one game.
My point is, what if they don't? What if they become a wild card team, and he winds up batting 275? I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and we've seen his batting average dip. And he doesn't get to 100 RBIs. Is he really the MVP? Seriously. 78 RBIs.
He still got
but I'm asking
nice time
you.
to get up there.
If you under 100 RBIs and his WAR is at 5 instead of 9. That's a huge drop off.
I think for me the biggest thing, Rob, is you're not bringing up the fact that he's been pitching and he has had to become one of the reliable pitchers for the Dodgers because of all the injuries throughout the season. That's a massive.
But he
part
doesn't
when
have
you're
any
talking about
pitching
MVP
stats
season.
to be crazy about, is what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying, people are watching him pitch and they're saying this dude is doing all of this, 42 home runs, and he's still out here pitching as well. Like, this is what we signed up for. If you're the Dodgers, this is when you signed him and gave him $750 million almost. This is what you were waiting for. This is what baseball was waiting for, to have this phenom. This is what fans were waiting for, specifically Dodger fans. And you're actually getting to see it, and he's doing it at a high level to the tune of, again, the expectations are him to be a starter in the postseason, while then hurrying up and taking off his stuff to go to swing a bat the next batter or two, depending on where he ends up in the lineup. So that's incredible, and we're actually finally seeing it play off. We're not hypothetically seeing it. We're seeing it with our own eyes now.
But he hasn't won any games. He's pitched 15 innings. I mean, like, there's nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, if he would have won like his first 4, I know he's only baby steps, but he hasn't won anything. His ERA is 2.40, which is fine, you know. But he hasn't won any games for the Dodgers.
Though. But that's incredible. You can't just roll past that. 2.41 is incredible for a guy that also is.
But that's only in 15 innings. It's just not a lot of pitch. You know
I wish I had my. What more do you want from me? The man is coming back from injury. The man is coming back from a World Series title, 50 home runs plus 50 plus stolen bases. Now I'm pitching. What more do you want from me?
You just hadn't won enough from me. That's all. I just don't. I think he's.
What more do you want from me?
I think he's been underwhelming to me this year. All right.
Underwhelming?
He's been underwhelming this year. Absolutely.